Hey everyone who's new to my YouTube channel. I don't know how long or how often I will upload videos or keep this account going, but I just kind of wanted to generate some more avenues for people to find my business. If you don't know what I do, I am a leather decor designer. So that's not what people typically think of when they think of like, embossing or things like that. I don't make keychains. I make like luxury leather art pieces to hang on people's walls. So I do have some samples over there, but check out my website if you want to look. My up-to-date stuff is on my Instagram though. I do a lot of embossing with leather as far as folding leather over different shapes and different letterings, but it is supposed to be high-end. I do work with hotels. I've worked with some companies like Ford, worked with some big names like that. So would love to have you guys, follow me on Instagram if you want, or my TikTok, which has very little views. Cannot figure it out for the life of me. But I started this YouTube channel just to show like all the mess ups and little things I'm learning along the way on my journey. I feel like I've been pretty precise with my techniques since I started my company in 2021, but I wanted to branch out and see if I can offer some other things, like maybe embossing designs into leather that I can incorporate into an overall piece on the wall. So pretty excited about that, but wanted to show you guys a couple of the things I have been working on with my brand new Bambu Lab Carbon X1 printer. I'm really excited about it. I've actually had so much fun. Probably the easiest technology I've ever had to learn in my life. Easier than literally, I would say, Google Sheets, because sometimes functions don't match up with Excel. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But this has been so easy to set up, just the printer by itself. And then also learning Bambu Studio, and I've been using Fusion 360 as well, learning how to use that. But right now I haven't really had to use Fusion 360. I anticipate that I will have to one day, but I'll show you a few things that I'm working on and how I did them. So my first design, I started out with this little boat that comes with the design that's already on the printer. So I tried that out first just to see what, how it printed. Then I took a 2D design that I created, talking way too fast, that I created out of leather last year for a competition. It was just a 2D PDF design. So I was like, I think that'd be really cool stamped into leather, or even have the leather, embossed around it. So what the design was is this, it was this 2D tree. It is part of, I think his name's Jim Linnell. That sounds wrong. But he's with Elk Tracks Leather, I think. But he does a lot of competitions for leather crafters and leather communities. So anyways, I took his design and then I thought, well, this is way too skinny to press. So I do have a huge press back there, a 4-ton clicker press. So it presses this into the leather for wet molding or dry molding. So then I created this base so that it was a little bit more stiff. This actually worked pretty well. I did not press super hard, but here, and I need to press a little bit harder, but here's the turnout for that. I mean, it turned out pretty good. I'm excited I'm gonna recreate this and actually try to make like an ornament for an Italian friend of mine. But I'm gonna take some leather dyes and fine paint the dyes into the crevices and just see if that works. I don't know if it will, but I'm pretty excited about that. So that was my first ever build. So how I did this, all I did was turned the PDF into an SVG file, and then I dropped it into Bambu Studio, and it turned it 3D by itself. And then what I did to create this base, so before I knew that you could add on a negative part or add on a modification like a cube, a cylinder, square, which I still haven't played much around with, I created a rectangle on Canva. I use Canva for like everything I do. Created a rectangle on Canva. I upgraded to the free monthly, of the premium to download in an SVG file, which you don't need. Adobe Express has a free SVG converter, but I do use Canva for a lot of things, so I thought it might come into handy with that. And then I drag and dropped the rectangle into Bambu Studio, and then I selected both objects, parts, and then clicked merge. It used to be called assemble. It still shows that it's an assembly when you merge it, but the option is called merge, so that the two designs merge. So I did that. Then I was thinking I would make some cute Christmas ideas for my family members with their last names. I literally did not use my brain on this one though. I was so stupid when I printed these. It's like, you know when you know what to do, but you don't do it, and then you immediately regret it? That's how what I do when I'm running out of time. I do something I know I shouldn't, and then I regret it later. And so far I've regretted literally everything I've printed. Even last night, I thought I had it perfect. So I sent a final slice and printed and everything, still wrong. So I'll show you what I did. I created a couple different fonts for my family in Canva. I love this like cursive font. Oh, so cool. And then I did this one. So we've got Ross, Hefta, and Brown as some of our last names. So Brown is my last name, but Hefta was my maiden name. I don't know if the camera can zoom in on those. Got the face tracking enabled. So I created those. But if you guys are like me, you forget that when you print something and you're going to stamp it, it needs to be inverted. That's what I forgot. So I learned it very quickly when I wet molded and tried this, because now it's all backwards. Learned that very quickly. So what I did was I took that, started doing inverted. So that's inverted. And thought, okay, I finally figured it out. But what I'm also doing is I wanted to try to emboss something with maybe a vacuum seal or a clamp by creating a male and female part. So I do have some vacuum packs that I bought on Amazon just to test if that works. I've seen it work with other molds before, so I'm gonna try that. But the idiot in me, what I did last night was, and this one was such a thick thing to print, which is still cool. I still think I can like use this with the vacuum pack, but I created a male and female part the first print I did, I forgot that I need to leave enough room. Let me see. So like these two connect perfect. See how one is, one is this is the male part, this would be the female. But I forgot that there's not enough width for me to punch the leather through these because they're the same size font text. So I was like, okay, I need to make the female part bigger then, so that there's a little gap in between where the leather can sink in when it's pushed together. So what did I do? I did something stupid. I did the same thing, created a nice female part, made it deeper, made it a lot bigger. I mean, look at what it came from. But did I do anything with the male part? No, I did not. So does it fit? No, because what I have to do is I have to space these letters as far apart as these are spaced to have it equal up. I didn't do that. So, my husband's always telling me, why don't you research stuff before you do it? Because I'm stupid and I love to make my own mistakes. Luckily, this is not very expensive. I think all of this has cost me like $2 to print, which is cheap. But in the long run, it would cost me a lot of money. So that's why I'm trying to figure these things out now. But I just think this is so much fun. And this is the translucent pt.2 that I got. This one is just the PLA green. But I think the translucent one is so much fun. And honestly, like these cursive letters, they stamped pretty good for cursive. Like I'm honestly shocked because the design actually was more of a brushstroke cursive. So it left a couple of like random lines within the font. And it actually picked up really well on the leather. I don't know if you can kind of see on the H there, you can kind of see some other little indents that it picked up perfectly with. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm having fun with that. I'm going to play around it a little bit more today, try to fix and stop being a stupid, and remember to invert my parts. So if anybody has any better practices for me, I would love to know. And also I need to know how to round the text when it gets embossed, because right now it's going to most likely, maybe not, but create a flat surface. But I want the tops of the leather to be rounded with the bulk of the lettering. So that's what I'm up to right now. So I'm excited. If you are curious about printers, highly recommend this one. Literally an idiot could probably set it up because it was so stinking easy. Like, as long as you just read the instructions, it was easy. The only thing that was hard for me was what happened. There is no pin code to match your printer. So I think what I had to do was I had to make sure my printer was on. I had to connect it to the same Wi-Fi. Anyways, oh, no, I know what I did wrong. So when you download Bambu Studio, you need to log in like you set up the Bambu Handy app, and it will sync the printer from your app over Wi-Fi. I didn't see, there's like nothing online, no forums or anything that talks about that. It took me forever to figure out how to connect the printer because there was no pin code, because this machine does not have a pin code. It has an access code, but the digits were 3 digits longer than what was required. So that's my tidbit. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hope this wasn't too boring. And let me know what you guys are going to create with your Bambu machine. Bye.